Hello students, myself Dr. Suhulo Sibu, Assistant Professor, Department of DESSH, Regional Institute of Education, NCERT Bhopal. Today, we would like to discuss on environmental studies of class 3. The topic of these discussions will be here comes a letter. So, what is a letter? A letter can be of three types. A written, which can be written with the help of a pen and pencil, a type form, which can be typed with the help of a typewriter and a computer, and a printed message. The art of writing a letter was an important requirement before the advent of modern information and communication technology. Writing a letter has evolved throughout the history, and here we will see how the sending of letter that reach you and me has evolved with time. In the olden days, a messenger were used to deliver an important letter. Sending letter has evolved with time, and it has drastically changed with time also with the advancement in technologies. Here you can see in the olden days the pigeon was used as a post carrier, and later on we evolved to the horse which carry the letters to different part of the countries, different part of the regions, and later on in some part of the country even camels are used to transport the letter. In the colder regions like Antarctic, where the snow cover is too thick, there dog sled are used to transport the letters. In the modern days, we see that vans are used, the red vans are used, even the ship is used to transport, and the aeroplanes are used to transport our letters. Letter writing is an important skill. Encouraging students to write a letter from an earlier age will develop their communications, handwriting and writing skills. So, as a teacher, we have to teach our students how to write a letter and especially to structure their letters. How do you feel when you receive a letter from your friend? I'm sure you feel excited because that letter was written by your friend or by your cousins or by your relatives to you, and it contained a lot of good news from the other side. But how do you feel? Have you ever wondered how this letter reached you? Well, in this lesson, we will explore how a letter traveled. Are you excited? Okay, here goes a story of how a letter traveled. I'm a letter written with a pen paper by Rina to her friend Ahmed. Dear Ahmed, you tell, how are you? We all friends miss you a lot. Hope you will come to Agartala in these vacations. Regards to all elders, yours Rina. So here you can see a postcard was prepared by Rina to her friend Ahmed. She dropped the letter in the letter box. The postman took me out and put me in a big letter box. Taking a ride on the postman's bicycle, I reached the post office. There I was taken out of the big bag and stamped hard. The stamp was of Agartala, from where my travel began. After getting stamped, I reached another big bag. This bag had many more letters, all heading to Delhi. The red postal van dropped me at the railway station. There I got into a train going to Delhi. After a long journey of 5 to 6 days, I reached Delhi. I was sorted out as per the area mentioned in the address written on me. on one more stamp was put on me. Finally, the postman dropped me at Ahmad's house. So this is the entire story of how a letter written by Reena has gone through and reached Ahmad's house. So you can see in this picture how Ahmad is reading happily. So before we proceed, let us have one activity. The activity here is given below is the journey of a letter shown through pictures. The pictures are not in sequence. Arrange this to get the correct sequence by putting number in the circles. So children, here is an assignment or activity for you to do. It appears in the screen. The pictures are not in a sequence. Your task is to arrange this in a sequence by giving a number. So here comes the right answer, students. The number 1 is Raina is writing a letter to Ahmed. The second part is she dropped a letter in the letter box. The third part is the postman came and collect the entire letter from the letter box. The postman dropped it in the post office. In the post office, the letters were stamped. The fifth step is the letters were all put in a big bag which is to be sent to Delhi. The sixth part is after reaching Delhi, it was sorted out as per the address mentioned in the postcard. The seventh is the postman dropped the letter to Ahmad's house. The eighth part is Ahmad is reading the message in the post. So this is the entire activity that you have to do in your home. So you know that Reena has wrote a letter to Ahmad and it has reached Ahmad's home. The same way you can also write a letter to your classmate, but do not forget to write your friend's name in the postcard just like it is shown in a screen. How did your letter reach your friends? It reached because your friends' names and address was written on it. This is a postcard. You can also do an activity whenever you like. Staying at home, what you can do, staying at home. As a parent and also as a teacher or as active students, you can also make yourself active, make yourself busy by writing a letter to your friends. Encourage children to write invitation letters. Encourage children to write letters to friends and relatives. Encourage children to write letters, especially thank you letters to friends and relatives. In this way, a child will develop the skill of communications. He or develop the skill of writing and also improve their handwritings. The other important thing that the students should do is stamp collections. You can make stamp collection as your hobby because it has a lot of advantage in it. Stamp collections can be fun and rewarding hobby for children. Stamps are colorful and historical in nature. Stamps collections as hobby is both interesting and educational. Encourage collections to stamp children to collect stamps. Educational and historical in nature because if you look at the stamps, you will see that a stamp has all the personalities, historical personalities, freedom fighters. It has a natural resource. It has a national monuments. It has a historical set. It has a historical buildings. So in this way, a child will develop the interest. Also, it will become very educative for a child. So what is this? What are Raisa and Appa saying to each other about a letter. Appa, do you know, today we learned about the journey of a letter in the class. I want to write a letter to Nani. You can write a letter. I'm going to make a call. If you want, you can also come along. So here we will discuss about the other means of communications apart from letter writing. So they are going to make a telephone call. So whenever we listened about the telephone, suddenly we come to know that telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. In 1876 he invented it. So both Raisa and Apna went out to make a phone call from a shop in the village. Appa dialed the phone number and both of them talked to Nani. They give money to the shopkeeper and return home happily. So here the question is, where all have you seen the telephone? With whom do you talk on the telephone? Which of the two do you like the more, writing a letter or making a phone call, and why? You have to answer this. Make your own telephone. For this you need 2 empty boxes of matchbox or 2 empty cups of ice cream and a thread. Make holes in both the matchbox or ice cream cups. Pass a thread through both the holes. Tight knot on both the ends of the thread. Your telephone is ready. Ask your friend to put one end of the phone next to his ear and you hold the other end close to your mouth. Take care that the thread remains stretched and does not touch anywhere. So dear students, what have we learned today in this lesson? We have learned that a letter is of different types. We have also learned that a letter sending has evolved with time, and a letter writing is an important skill. We have learned that a child should make a habit of writing a letters because it will develop the skills of writing, it will develop skills of communications, it will also improve the handwriting of a children. We have also seen how a letter have traveled from one place to another place. We have seen how Rina has written a letter to her friend and how the letter has gone throughout the journey. We have also talked about the other means of communications, that is telephone. A telephone which was invented long time back has evolved through times, and today the telephone has completely transformed. It is just a smartphone. Today we used communications like Gmail, email to send even the letters. So letter sending has evolved throughout the history, and with the advancement in technologies we have the letter sending have changed a lot. I'm sure you may have benefited a lot, you may have learned a lot from these lessons. Thank you so much.